All right, we're going to correct your daily language week 13. Make sure you have a pen and you're ready to correct your mistakes. The whole point of this is to make sure your mistakes are corrected. Okay, the first mistake is here is theirs. There should be an apostrophe S after theirs. So their apostrophe S. A T-Rex, Rex should have a capital R because it's the name of a dinosaur, named Sue. In Chicago should be a capital C. Then there should be a comma between Chicago and Illinois. And Illinois is the name of a state, so it should be capitalized. Those were the mistakes. If you need more time, press pause. Okay, Sue's bones. Okay, the mistake here is that we need an apostrophe S after Sue because the bones belong to Sue. Okay, are in a museum called the Field Museum. This is the name of a museum, so both field and museum need to be capitalized. Everything else was correct in that sentence. Okay, the word found here, you needed a word that meant the same thing as discovered. Discovered and found mean the same thing. Okay, this says underline the verbs, so we should have underlined found. Sue Hendrickson found Sue's bones near the city of Faith, South Dakota. So found is the verb, and the job that the verb does in this sentence is that it shows an action. Okay, what are we having? Okay, the first mistake here is that we have to take off the E before we can add the ing in having. So having should just be H-A-V-I-N-G. For dinner. Then since this is a question, we need a question mark inside the quotation marks. So, and then I asked Mom. So now this is a statement, so we need a period at the end because we already put the question mark with the question. Okay, I'm making pancakes. Okay, making is the same problem as having. Take off the E before you add the ing, so it should be M-A-K-I-N-G. Pancakes should be one word. They're a compound word, so scooch them together. And then you need a comma after pancakes. Mom said or said mom. I think I typed them in the wrong way. Okay, these you don't really need to know, but in case you were wondering, the everyone is an indefinite pronoun, and she is a subject pronoun. And even if you didn't know like what indefinite meant, you could have figured out that she was the subject pronoun because she is being used as a subject right here. It's telling what the verb is doing, so we could have guessed just knowing that fact. And chopped is the word that is spelled correctly, C-H-O-P-P-E-D. Remember when a word ends, so like we have the word chop, C-H-O-P, we have a vowel and just one consonant. Before we can add an ed or an ending that starts with a vowel, we have to double the final consonant, and that's why it's chopped. All right, George Washington. So Washington is the mistake here. It should have a capital W. It's his last name, not becomed. It should be became. Make sure you spell it correctly. President of the United States in 1789. The rest of it is correct. Okay, Washington. We need a comma after Washington and a comma after DC because it's not a city and a state, but it's a city and a district, so it's kind of the same thing. So you need a comma in between, and then we need a comma to set it off in the rest of the sentence. Washington, D.C. is named after Mr. Washington. Mr. Washington would be a proper name, so we need to capitalize Mr. Okay, folktale is with the T-A-L-E. Underline the nouns. Okay, nouns are people, places, and things. So people, America, George Washington, and man. Hopefully you guys all had those nouns, and if you did, give me a star right there. Okay, now these are silly. There are things in our language that mean exactly what they say, and then there are some that don't mean exactly what they say. Like he is scared. Okay, that means he's scared. But if you say he has cold feet, that also means he's scared. Okay, I don't feel, this should really be well. I don't feel well. Okay, that just means what it says. But if you say I'm under the weather, that means that you're not feeling well. Okay, help me. That just means help me. But if I say, hey, give me a hand, that also means help me. Okay, if I say wait, I want you to stop what you're doing and wait. But if I say hold your horses, kids, that means I want you to wait. So we're trying to figure out which where these go. So this says to fill with a phrase that means exactly what the words say. So I have to stay in bed because I don't feel well. Or you could have good. He doesn't want to ride the roller coaster because he is scared. Okay, we could also say he doesn't want to ride the roller coaster because he has cold feet. This one, you're supposed to use one from the column of does not mean exactly what the words say. I can't go with you until I finish my lunch, so hold your horses. Do the people really want you to hold on to your horses? No, they want you to wait. Will you, instead of saying help with my homework, they say, will you give me a hand? Do they really want you to chop off your hand? No, they want you to help them. All right. Today, let's go ahead. It's almost winter, but let's remember back to summer. Let's have some ocean water and a giant fish. And they're saying, wow, for doing a good job. Go ahead and draw that and that will show me that you checked your work.